Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a little slightly bit better emotionally for myself. Just a tiny bit. I've processed my emotions from the last few days to get over the grief and sorrow. It's not gone, it's just less, I guess. So there's that. But today I think I was drawn to a different oracle deck today. Like I said, I have a lot that I don't ever really use. So, I mean, not because I don't like them, but just because I fall out of habit and shit happens, you know? So I have my Moonology oracle deck. I also have the book, which I really need to get into and I need to start working with more often because unfortunately, I think mainly it's because of my job and the fact that I have the same schedule every single day, that I find it hard to work with the moon just because I'm not, I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses, but anyway, my point is I need to start doing it more. Oh, hey, look, we got a jumper. Oh. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. I always take these cards as a sign because my sun sign is a Leo, and the fact that I was just talking about not working with the moon because I am on a very strict, not strict, but like a real like regimented schedule. I think that that's not a coinky dink, if you know what I mean. So let's get into this. Let's see if I could find it in here. Full moon cards, full moon in Leo, 76. This book is perfect. It's set up perfectly. It's nice and organized. You'd think I was a Virgo, but I'm not. I mean, I'm clearly not a Virgo. But anyway, I don't even know if I have any Virgo in my chart. I have to look at my chart. I need someone to do my chart for me because as much as I love astrology and I can understand the energy shifts, I don't necessarily understand how to read a chart and how it works that way. So anyway, don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Have you been letting your pride become an obstacle? Is the question you're being asked on your ego, or is it from your heart? Leo energy is all about the heart. Think of the big-hearted king of the jungle, the lion. First of all, before I move on, why is the Leo always depicted as a male lion when the female lions are the ones that actually hunt and protect? Male lions typically will be lazy and lay around and do nothing. And they don't even roar. That is a myth, by the way. Every roar you hear coming from a lion is actually a tiger's roar. The MGM lion, that's a tiger's roar, not a lion, because lions don't actually roar. But they like the look of a lion better because the mane makes it look cooler, I guess. Anyway, just food for thought. Let's see. Its energy is magnificent, but when it's combined with the rush of the full moon, it can become over the top. This card may have come to you because you need to end a deadlock that has developed. More love and thoughts for greater good are the solution to this dilemma. If you've not been doing if you've not been doing as you would be done by lately, I don't know what that means. This is the time to find a balance between your own needs and the needs of the people around you. Oh, okay. This will help all of your relationships. Attune to the moon. Be magnificent without being plain too much. Additional meaning for this card. Self-esteem is good, vanity is not. Everyone is equally important. Creative urges should be followed, work some magic. A friendship may be ending now. Okay. The teaching. When the full moon comes into in Leo, it can be a wonderfully bright time where people feel more confident to show the world their talents and assets. That's the upside of this lunation and of this card, no matter when you pull it. However, take note that the Leo full moon combination creates a sort of tension between your needs and the needs of people in your networks. Leo full moon time is a time to release pride. Okay. I feel like that's a little, I don't know, maybe that's a little misleading, but I mean, I do feel like collectively we need to release pride because there's a very particular group of people who do not see anywhere past the end of their nose. And that's not to bring Mary Poppins into this, but that's probably my favorite example of pride, where Mr. Banks doesn't see anything outside of his little fucking narrow ass bubble, and he would consider himself, I feel, a lion, right? He is driven, he is successful, he's got a lot of money, he has this perfect idea of a family, but yet he doesn't understand why the kids don't listen to him. He doesn't understand why his wife just kind of is, you know, she's a suffragette, but yet the minute he gets home, she fawns all over him. Like, he doesn't understand the duality of her personality and nature there, which I could talk about Mrs. Banks in a whole, that's a whole other thing. I could analyze Mary Poppins probably all day long. But it takes Mary and Bert, which I believe are representations of the divine, masculine and feminine, in my, own brain. That's my own interpretation. You could take it however you want, but that's just my interpretation. So you've got Mary and Bert, who are the representations of the divine, masculine and feminine. Mary takes no shit from nobody, right? I see her as the feminine lion. I see her as a Leo in a way, because she doesn't take any shit from anybody, but her heart is still in it. Like, even though she may not show it at the end of the film, you can see how it affects her to have... I did not think I was going to get emotional over Mary Poppins. Good God. Well, I always do. But anyway, not in this context. I didn't think I was going to get emotional. But, she is the one that also teaches the children that you also have to meet your father where he is. You've got to meet your parents where they are, which is a lesson that I didn't take away from for a long time. But anyway, that kind of is derailing. But I don't know if that metaphor makes any sense at all. Because I'm just kind of riffing here and I don't really make notes or anything like that. But obviously, because this is a random card pull. Oh my gosh, I'm rambling. Good lord. What a morning. But yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, in that regard, I feel like I view Mary as the female lion, where, you know, she is full of pride. She is very practically perfect in every way, you know. But at the same time, she doesn't use that as an excuse to only think of herself, which is what Mr. Banks does. He thinks that his shit don't stink and everyone should just fall in line behind him, when that's not how it works. And excuse me. And, you know, he has to learn from Mary in order to realize that, oh, I can still be proud of who I am. I can still be successful, and I can still be you know, I can still be the man I think I am, but I also have to put my family first, which is why I like the scene when he gets fired from the bank because the kids accidentally set a run on the bank and caused a whole ruckus. But, you know, that scene is really important because that just shows, that has to show Mr. Banks. Basically, if you look at it from a collective perspective, in the eyes of Mary Poppins, shit has to hit the fan before, in order to realize what's actually really important. Which, to tie it into what's happening collectively, I think we're all seeing the shit hit the fan. And we're all realizing, most of us are realizing what's actually important and what's actually should be a priority. And money is not the priority. Money should not be the priority. Yeah, that's the way our society is set up, and we need it to fucking exist, but, which is a whole other video in and of itself, but I don't know. Does that make sense? Does that metaphor even work here? I feel like it does. And I feel like that's why I've always been drawn to that movie, because I see myself in Mary a lot. I actually use her as like an archetype to live by, to follow. And I think that she is definitely a Leo in a lot of ways, and so is Mr. Banks. And because they are two sides of the same coin, he represents the more shadow side of pride, and she is more the, you know, the light side, I guess, of pride, and how it should be from here, not here. It's, I don't know. that it just makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else, and I hope it does, because I don't know. I don't think I want to do a clarification card, really. I do feel like I'm being drawn to pull one more, just to see how it would. Since I didn't technically pull that one, it jumped. What you doing, Salem? He doesn't like to eat the dry food out of the bowl, so he scoops it up and he eats it off of the mat. Silly cat. I don't get it. I don't know if he just doesn't like having his head stuck in the bowl. That's probably it. Yeah, that Mary Poppins metaphor really just kind of popped out of nowhere. I wasn't really planning on bringing in... I actually really need to read the original book. I've never gotten... I don't even know if it's in print anymore. I don't know where I can find it. Also, the movie Saving Mr. Banks. Oh. It's a lot. Hey, what you doing? He's clinking. Hang on a second. Sorry, my alarm went off. It's not the time when things are... It's the time when things are falling away. It's certainly not the time to cling on to anyone or anything. Drawing this card suggests your situation is in its autumn and winter phase, so hunker down and start the regeneration process. I know that that's probably a hard sell for right now, given the situations throughout the world. I mean, on a more personal level, I guess, I would suggest, I would look at it as maybe, well, okay, so the only way I believe the collective is going to get better is when we work on ourselves individually, which I understand that is exactly what people don't want. Like, the people who are in charge, quote unquote, they don't like that, and they don't want us to think about ourselves or work on it. I mean, they do, and like, they want us to just be set in our ego state. They don't want us to actually look at look inward and find our personal power, which is needed in this time. So I guess I would take this as, in conjunction with this, you know, there's a lot of energy going on right now. And as I've said before in previous videos, you need to also work on yourself in order to be prepared for what is happening or going to happen or whatever. And I think we all need to release the notion that we need, I guess, radical acceptance is the ultimate form of release, I suppose. And I think we all need to just radically accept that this is not normal. None of this is normal. And even though the pride wants to win, the ego wants to win, wants to be right and correct about everything, we know that that's not true, or at least those of us who understand that this is not normal and it shouldn't be normal. I don't know. Maybe I'm going off the rails with that. interpretation. But anyway, let's move on to the meditation here. I'm not always correct. Like I said, these videos are for practice because I need to work on my own stuff. And the only way I can do that is by doing it. So I might not get it 100% all the time. And if you have your own interpretations on what I pulled or said, please let me know in the comments below. Okay. Your relationships improve drastically and the tension in your mind decreases significantly when you can simply accept people for who they simply accept people for who they are instead of fixating on how they should change in order to be more like you. Okay. Well, you know, full circle, I guess. It goes right back to what I was saying about, whoops, get back in there, to Mary Poppins, the whole interpretation of the Pride card of full moon and Leo, and then perhaps that's what you need to release is, you know, radical acceptance, like I said, is oh, that's funny. Okay. I love when things work out like that. But yeah, that is today's card pull and meditation. I've got some other videos coming up along the way. They're scheduled, so they'll be up every so often. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay. Sorry about that. I always have. I had to set up the dog a little bit here, so he's next to me. So you'll probably hear him chewing his bone, because that's what he does, but that's alright. Anyway, one more little shuffle here, and then... Alright. I feel like this kind of goes with the other card. What do you need to release? This is the Waning Moon card. Oh, that's beautiful. You know what? I might have to use this as a reference to for one. I'm working on a winter themed painting for my next show. It's a group show that's coming up here soon. I need to do work on that, actually. That's gonna be probably what I do tonight after work. Oh, it's almost 5:30. Okay. Waning Moon, hold on. That is under, I believe, the special moon cards. Yeah, 100, 100, 100. What do you need to release? The waning moon points to what... The waning moon points to what's falling away. Life goes in cycles, and sometimes we need downtime or to let go. No matter when in the moon cycle you pull this card, it's a sign that a situation has peaked, for better or worse. And it's time for you to go easier. It's the autumn and winter of the cycle. So what do you need to release? Almost certainly something from the situation you're asking about. This card can be very positive, but it can still be gently suggesting that you let something go and stop trying so hard. Attune to the moon. It's safe to let go and move on, okay? Additional meanings for this card. Move forward with as little resistance as possible. This is not the time to start new projects. Releasing emotional baggage is recommended now. Say sorry to someone. Do energetic work, such as meditation or yoga. Soon you will see what lies ahead. And the teaching? At the time of the waning cycle, take a moment to look up in the skies every night. You will see the moon growing smaller and smaller as she moves from full to new again. It's the time when things are falling away. It's certainly not the time to cling